What's up and welcome back. I'm John Starkback, MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And believe it or not, uh, m- many, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I actually recapped the last season of The Handmaid's Tale, and it's back. So this is The Handmaid's Tale, uh, season 6, episode 1, 2, and 3. I've seen the first 3 episodes to the return of the Handmaid's Tale. So let's talk about the return of the Handmaid's Tale, which has audio description on Hulu. It is a Hulu original series. I don't know about your Disney Plus subscription, what that looks like for you without Hulu, but it's a Hulu original series. So, um, oh man, yeah, you should definitely be caught up on Handmaid's Tale. This is not a show you want to jump into at the last minute. Well, I haven't seen the first 5 seasons. How am I gonna do going into the final season of the? I don't know, man. Uh, it's just not one of those shows. I don't know what to tell you. Um, so we kind of pick up exactly where we left off, with June and Serena being on the train together, and realizing that they're all on the train together. And that's kind of episode 1. Episode 1 basically is almost entirely on the train, and June and Serena taking baby steps through their relationship. Literal baby, because they both have a child. Um, Serena's trying to protect Noah. June's trying to protect uh, uh, Nick, uh, Nick. What is it? It's oh God. I know it's based off of like Nick's name, um, but it's gonna change. Never mind. So, um, and so June, she also has a broken arm, so it ends up becoming like blessing in disguise, because Serena is actually not a horrible person for a little while. I mean, she's still like, I guess, is like in the global identity of her character, but she doesn't actually kidnap June's kid. She just like June's able to sleep, and nothing happens, and sort of vice versa. It's like the two of them actually have each other without strangers watching over babies, and so they actually have an opportunity to. But it doesn't go well for very long, because Serena gets recognized, and she is persona non grata on a train full of women who have been subjugated by her policies. And June is really trying to save Serena. She's like, Serena, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Like Serena cannot read the room. And makes this like defiant stance. This doctor comes in that helps June with her arm, and is like, how well do you know your traveling companion? And that's when he reveals to her that it's Serena. And June is like, you can tell she's trying to figure out because she doesn't like Serena. Like, is there anything that she should do? And her main concern is that nothing happens to Noah, like the baby. Like, she's not, she's like, you can, whatever you want to do to Serena, fine, but Noah needs to stay okay. So, meanwhile, Serena's, and this whole thing is reminding June that if they take her, that Noah will end up just going back to the Wheelers, which is terrible because they're, you know, uh, part of Gilead. So Noah will just be raised to be the next horrific man, which it's nice that Serena doesn't want that for him, that Serena wants him to grow up and be a better person than his father. So um, there's an awesome scene that's really well described with the train turning on Serena, and like the word feral is used, and they kind of attack Serena, and she's down on the ground, and they're beating and clawing at her, and she's just like uh, crouched over protecting Noah, and June pulls the train brake, which sends all of the people who weren't ready for it sort of like falling over. Um, and then they break out of the cart, and they're standing in the area that is between cars, so where they're outside. And June is trying to tell Serena she's got to get off the train. Like, that's the only hope that she has. And Serena doesn't want to be where they are because they haven't crossed. They're still in an area where if she's captured, she'll just be returned to the Wheelers. But she's also in an area where if she doesn't jump, she'll die because, I mean, they're trying to kill her actively. So this train starts moving, and June loved her movies in the 1980s, so she absolutely does throw Mama from the train. Uh, she, before the train starts moving too quickly and it becomes at a speed that would harm Serena and Noah, she pushes her off the train. She makes that choice for her. And I think June does it not to kill Serena, but literally to as like the only chance to save her, because Serena will not jump, will not get off the train of her own volition. And that's episode one. Basically, episode one ends with later on, June is at, she's reached the destination. She's at America. I don't know. And it's like a refugee camp, and we see this. There's a doctor, right, who's like walking through the camp, and it says we don't see their face. It kind of describes their clothing. Don't see their face. They look at a clipboard, and they see June's name is on there, and you just hear this voice calling out June, and it's like this reunion that's been like 6 seasons in the making. And it's June's mom from the flashbacks. And June reunites with her mom, who I guess is working as a medic for this facility. And so she has family there. And episode 2 is sort of more about connecting the dots. Like, we've seen Moira is talking about, we learned that Canada is looking to make peace with Gilead. People don't like American refugees everywhere, and now that there's New Bethlehem, they want to make a treaty so that to end the little bit of America that's left. America's running out of troops. They're starting to use just like random citizens in this group called like Mayday, which seems like destined to fail. Luke has a great moment. OT has a great moment as Luke, talking about Hannah and how he, that they took his daughter, and like he'll do anything to like get her back. So he signs up for this mission. He and Moira, we see a little bit of Nick being released back to his family, and just sort of like the rest of the characters we hadn't seen yet up until that point, most of them anyway, are shown in this second episode of sort of like the characters we've been following this whole time. And it just sort of repositions things and people. June, it allows her to have more conversations with her mom, which are not always great conversations, but it's one where June reveals that the baby's actual name isn't Nicola or whatever it is. It's she named the baby's name is her mom's name, And then she leaves to go do this Mayday thing. So she leaves the baby with her mom safe in this camp, and goes off to, because she still wants to get Hannah back. Like this whole thing is about getting Hannah. So in the third episode, we learn that the Moira and um, Luke thing did not go as planned, and June now has to rescue them, and she wants to use Nick to help get those two out. So she has to figure out a way how to get to him. They use there's like an ambassador thing that's happening in New Bethlehem. So the German ambassador ends up delivering a message to Nick from America. So kind of makes you wonder how many people are really looking to strike peace with Gilead. You know. But a lot of Bradley Whitford in the third episode. He got Serena to come back in the second episode to New Bethlehem, so that she's like the ambassador to welcome people back to New Bethlehem, and she's like a kinder, gentler Serena. You know, she has different thoughts and opinions on being a woman and being what women should be allowed to do, and she's really proud that in New Bethlehem women can read and write. And I'm like, whoa, we have. Wow, I'm glad that's. They've allowed so much in New Bethlehem. The benevolence is. When we're starting off with allowing women to read and write again, it's just, wow, I had no idea. Are they allowed to talk too? Occasionally? Can they speak? So, yeah, so we see a little bit of New Bethlehem in this, the promise of, there's always this air of, how are they using New Bethlehem? Is it a fake promise that they plan on taking away as soon as everybody comes back and they get like the treaties that they need for trade purposes and they're no longer fighting any wars? Or are they actually going to keep New Bethlehem running as it is? You know? It's hard to tell with Bradley Whitford's character because he seems like there is some good in him that he wants to do that is wrapped up in the fact that he is actually the architect of all of this. But it feels like he was the architect of something that was taken out of context and then somebody ran with it. You know, like an extremist ran with it. If I tell you that blue is the best color, and then somebody hears me, and then suddenly they go out and they force everything in the world to be blue, I technically was the one that said blue is the best color, but that's not what I meant. So I think he's reflecting a lot on the original intent that he had in being the architect of this world, and he's trying to find some sort of like happy medium of what is allowed, and you know how Gilead coexists with the rest of the world. So I think there is some sort of genuine, but whether or not there is with some of the other commanders, you know, they seem to not be willing to give up so much of their positioning. Men, right? Am I right? So the third episode has a rescue for Luke and Moira, who I don't know that they needed to be rescued. June's information on them was a little sketchy because they were just kind of hiding in this abandoned water park. But they definitely were not like in jail or something like that. There wasn't, but they do end up having to kill two of the Watcher. I don't know. Two extras died so that Luke and Moira could be saved. Two nondescript characters had to die along the way. So yeah, it looks like everybody is headed in the right direction. I'm interested to see where the next episode goes and where the season goes. One of the more interesting things is in the third episode, we pick back up with Aunt Lydia, who's not in the first two episodes. And she has learned, she's been asking some questions, I guess, because she really wants to know, where did they take Janine? And Janine is now a Jezebel. And when Lydia walks in and sees that her, she sees not just Janine, but she sees some of her other girls are Jezebels. And she's like, you're not supposed to be here. You're fruit bearers. You're supposed to be, you did the job. Like, she's been told, and she really, you can tell Aunt Lydia truly believes the shit that she has been told. And this is a moment for her. Like, she's asking the girls to still pray with her. Like, her mind is falling apart. And Dowd was great in the scene. She just could not comprehend what was happening, because she's so deep entrenched in the promise of Gilead, that to see, and she can't understand why he would be there, and she tries to go to Commander Waterford and get Janine out, but no, it's not happening. And Janine tells her, she's like, this is the better option. This is better than the colonies. At least I'm here and not in the colonies. It's like, she's like, this is what actually happens to your girls. This is where we actually get sent. And it's like, it's such a wake-up call for Lydia, who's just like, her mind is blown. So I'm really excited to see where Lydia is going, especially considering, as far as I know, she's the only returning character for the spin-off, The Testaments, that's currently in production for the how they're going to continue to be in this universe. So that's it. It's the first 3 episodes wrapped up into one recap. So, speed cap, 3 episodes. Yeah, I'm liking the final season. I think we're looking at another series nomination. Be shocked if this wasn't nominated for series again. It's probably going to get some acting nominations. Also at the Emmys, obviously Elizabeth Moss. I would be surprised if we didn't get nominations. It's so hard to tell at this point, because Emmy voters suck. They do. I'm sorry, they do. If you're an Emmy voter, I don't like you. I hate you, actually. I think about that ridiculous ass year where we had supporting actor in a drama, and 4 nominees were from Succession and 4 nominees were from The White Lotus. It's like, that's a bit much. I feel like we should have rules to prevent that. I don't even mind a rule. I don't even mind that there's a rule that no more than 2 people from the same show can be nominated in a category. I think when you have a category with 8 nominees and they're from 2 shows, they represent 2 shows, that just shows that the Emmy voters didn't watch enough TV. It doesn't mean that those shows were strong. It means you didn't watch enough TV. That's what that means to me. I love Succession, and the second season of The White Lotus was really good, but I would still have found at least a few other spots for some of the other standout performances from other shows that year that deserved it, because that is not the makeup that we should be trying to do. So do I trust fully that somebody like Bradley Whitford or Max Minghella could make the cut, or OT, or any of the other supporting actors? I don't know. And same thing with supporting actress. Do I think, beyond a reasonable doubt, that we're going to get a nomination for Ann Dowd in that race? Or I don't know, any of the other supporting actresses? I don't know, because I don't trust Emmy voters anymore, because they can literally just vote for the entire ensemble of one show or 2 shows, and it suddenly takes up everything, and it just sucks all the energy up right out of the race. So It's a great question, but I don't know. 3 episodes in, I don't know if Handmaid's Tale could be one of the shows that could suck up all the energy too. It has an expansive ensemble cast. It's been around for 6 seasons. It could also be a show that has half the nominations of a category, if they really wanted it to be. So, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to be back. I'm going to keep recapping this. I'm going to finish it out. I recapped all of season 5. I'm here with season 6. I'm assuming we're not going to get 3 episodes a week because that would be insane. So it should be able to just normalize after this. But welcome back to The Handmaid's Tale. If I had to grade, I would not grade every episode at A. So, but I mean, the balance of the episodes would be A. I think the finale is worth an A. The premiere is worth an A. I would give the second episode an A minus, and then I would give the third episode an A. So it would be like bum bum bum, like just down down. The second episode does slow a little bit because it's trying to build. It doesn't quite have the pacing of the first episode. The season premiere is excellent, and the third episode has just a lot that they throw in that makes sense. Granted, coming out of the second episode that builds, but second episode for me, just it does slow down a little bit. Like the pacing was not quite there for the first and third episodes, which feel like that they're coming at you like a bullet train. So that's it. First 2 episodes are directed by Elizabeth Moss, by the way. So shout out to her directing career because she did an excellent job on that first episode. That was amazing. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 4.